Hi guys, George here with Troglodyne to report on yet another website being transitioned to tCMS. So one of my good friends, Julian Brown, recently came into maintainership of Houston.pm, and he asked me to make a theme for Houston.pm and investigate whether we can transition it straightforwardly to this, as it used to be this static site generator template, basically, that required a lot of manual edits and things like that to make new posts, rather than something that was much more dynamic like tCMS is currently. You can see the current site as it is right here, and it has various different features like archive of talks, and you can see it has things like they're broken down by year, all those sorts of things. It's got some custom pages, and it's got different things like that. So the ways that I ended up dealing with that was I had to make a few modifications. You can see it basically starts right here. Number one, to allow the theming of default.tx. You can see here the home page is very different from what you would expect on the default page. And so I needed to actually get that done so that we could end up doing that. And here's sort of what it ends up looking like, the migration of that. And then we ended up going ahead and implementing a few bugs. We needed the header and footer to be generic to all pages so that we could have some things like with the meetings page, have these sort of different headers everywhere. And some of that was also every time we make a series, we actually print out the series description. So there's sort of two ways that we can handle that. And then we went ahead and we implemented 139, which was the year, month, day selector on the paginator. So you can see we can go here to the talks archive, and we can scroll down to the bottom and look at the paginator, and now we have a jump to button rather than just the previous and next. So let's instead go to 2004 and take a look at some of the things that happened then. You can see everything before 2004 is now listed here. So we can now hop over to the next issue that we implemented, and we needed to deploy it on a CentOS machine. So I was not able to get a Perl environment working on CentOS with cPanel, which is what the environment essentially is. CentOS always has way too out-of-date Perl, and their packagers do not particularly go to any of the trouble required to actually get a lot of the things like the XS modules actually building correctly, unless you just build the entire stack from source, which I'm not about to do. So what I did was I took the existing Ubuntu configuration and scripts and just made a Docker file so that we could actually deploy it. Later today, I'm going to do some streams to improve that sort of workflow with regard to exfiltrating posts and configuration data from the Docker container so that you can do redeploys fairly straightforwardly. And then beyond that, I'm going to have to change a few things about the config model to make that simpler. So next we had to fix, yes, the series view issue where, like I said, whenever we go over here to like meetings, you can see the series view is actually displayed the description so that you can see what is going on with the series. All of these different pages like meetings and presentations and the group projects were re-implemented as series. And I'll talk to you in a bit about some of the lessons learned as a result of that. So let's see. Then it was just some little bitty refactors and things like this little button down here to advertise that it's made with tCMS. So all in all, it was a mostly straightforward transition. The theme was not particularly difficult to make, and it looks pretty good at the end of the day, I think. So the key takeaways I had was, like with the last one, the sort of making posts much more generic and post types modular is going to be something that would be very valuable here, because when you actually go into the back end, none of these sort of categories really maps directly to the ones that we have of video, audio, news, blogs, things like that. All of these things like presentations, meetings, and projects, they all have their own unique concerns that are just not really handled very well right now. And you also, when you make a post, or you're going to have to add the relevant series tag to those automatically. And I noticed whenever we have these baked in types, I'm automatically adding whatever the type tag is, and I realize, well, that just means it's really a series, right? So I'm going to make it to where all of these post types are actually series, and that whenever you see the series links in the top, and all the links in the top bar, they're actually just going to iterate through the existing series, uh, and that you can override those to some degree, rather than the current approach of we are just theming this particular template that generates these links. So that's going to be what I focus on before we actually move on to making another site migrated to tCMS, so that the maintenance burden of doing that migration is minimal. And other than that, I think we're going to do a stream later today about handling some of those Docker issues. And hope you guys enjoyed the video.